Recording in progress. Welcome students to the second session of data interpretation and logical reasoning for CAT. But let me tell you, if you are appearing for any exam that test you on data interpretation and logical reasoning, this session is going to help you because I am coming up with my typical ways of solving the question. And in this particular video, I will teach you how to solve difficult sets using options. I will be taking help of options rather than solving the complete set. So do watch this. Let us start. Yeah. So why students do struggle in DILR? I mean, I've discussed this in the last class because students want to solve complete sets. And what I am saying is that solve few questions in each set. If it is possible to solve the entire set, do it. But if you can solve few questions in every set, that is going to perhaps help you more. So this shift in the mindset can give you some additional 15-20 marks. So solve everything is a wrong instinct. Your objective should be to maximize marks. And we discussed about 120-second rule, which says that read question for 2 minutes and then rate it whether you will be able to solve it or not. And how to rate it? This is how to rate it. Apply the filter, SID filter. What does it stand for? S stands for structure. So after reading the question, which will take around, say, what, 1 minute time or so, after reading the question, if you can tick mark three things at least, then solve the question in round one. If you can tick mark the two things, then solve it in round two. One or zero, don't solve it at all in the CAT exam. So S stands for structure. After reading the question, can you visualize how the table can be drawn, how the data can be arranged? Second is information. Is the data manageable? Are there too many entities that are given? Are there ambiguous statements that are given? Proceed with caution. This is the most important, as I said. D stands for deduction. After reading the entire data, entire set, can you deduce one extra thing that is not given in the question? If you can do that, that is the entry point of the question. Identifying the entry point is very, very important. And D stands for difficulty. Difficulty means if I give some time, how much time will I take to solve one question, at least one question, and that question can be any question, question number one or question number three of that set, right? So that is important. And always, while gauging the difficulty level, while evaluating the difficulty level, go and check the questions and the options because they tell you a lot. Right. So this was the set that I gave you. You can stop the video and read it once more before you go ahead and look at the entire solution. I will like you to spend 15-20 minutes by yourself solving the question. So these are the five questions. If you read what was the total amount spent on ticket by Bipasha. Question number two says which were all the rides that Anjali completed by 2 p.m. Which ride was taken by all three visitors? How many rides did Anjali and Chitra take in total? What was the total amount spent on tickets by Anjali? So if you see, if I can figure it out that what has Anjali done, I can perhaps solve a lot of questions. This question, maybe this question also. Definitely question number five. So this is something, if I solve one question, maybe I will end up solving three questions at least. I don't know. Just from the look of it, it says that. Right. So this is what question is telling me. Now, let us read the data set. What is data talking about? Anjali, Bipasha, and Chitra visited an entertainment park that has four rides. Okay. Each ride lasts for 1 hour and accommodated one visitor at one point. All rides begin at 9 a.m. and must be completed by 5 p.m. except for ride 3, for which the last ride has to be completed by 1 p.m. So except ride 3, all ride can last or can be operational till 5 p.m. Ride 3 has to be completed by 1 p.m. Ride gets open every 30 minutes. Example 10 a.m., 20:30 a.m. and so on. Whenever a ride gets open and there is no visitor inside, the first visitor waiting in the queue buys the ticket just before taking the ride. The ticket prices are 20 for 50, 30, and 40 for rides 1 and 2 to 4 respectively. So this is a fixed thing. This is fixed. In some question, this respectively word is not given, but here I know ride 1 is for 20, ride 2 is for 50, and so on and so forth. Each of three visitors took at least one ride and did not necessarily take all rides. None of them took the same ride more than once. These are essential constraints that are given. The movement time from one ride to another time is negligible, and the visitor leaves the ride immediately after completion of the ride. No one takes a break inside the park unless mentioned explicitly. So these three, four constraints are given and very logical also. Because had there been some complexity, I would have said leave it. But what it says is that every person take rides only once. There is nothing like movement type. राइट फिनिश हुआ अगली राइट पे वो तुरंत पहुंच जाता है एंड नो वन टेक्स ब्रेक unless explicitly mentioned. The complex part looks this that ride opens every 30 minutes, but we will see if that is required or not. So that's what is given. Chitra never waited in the queue and completed her visit by 11 a.m. So Chitra leaves by 11 a.m. after spending 50 to pay for the tickets. From here itself, I can infer that either Chitra has spent 20 and 30 or Chitra has spent 50. That is the inference I can directly draw, isn't it? Because she has spent 50, she has left by 11 a.m. There is only two possibility. Either she has spent 20 plus 30, two rides, or only one ride of 50 rupees. Anjali took ride 1 at 11 a.m. after waiting for 30 minutes for Chitra to complete it. Right. So Anjali took the ride at 11 a.m. after waiting for 30 minutes to Chitra to complete it. So Chitra has completed ride 1 at 11 a.m. Right? Because Anjali took the ride at 11 a.m. and she waited for 30 minutes. So Chitra has completed ride 1 at 11 a.m. It is given that until mentioned, nobody has waited or taken a break. So she must have completed one more ride. Okay. And also given that Chitra has completed ride 1. If Chitra has completed ride 1, which cost 20 rupees, then this is the case for Chitra. This is the inference that I have done. I am looking for one deduction that I can do. It was the only ride where Anjali waited. ठीक है Bipasha began her first of the three rides. Okay, she has taken three rides. That is given 11:30 a.m. All three visitors incurred the same amount of ticket expense at 12:15 p.m. Then one more point is given, but I have deduced just to evaluate. I am looking for one deduction that I have got from point number 2. So should I solve it or not? Structure, yes, I can easily visualize the structure. So definitely yes here in the structure column. Yeah. Information. Is the data manageable? Looks so. There are three entities and four rights. So that looks easy. But the problem is of multiple time slots. So maybe. So I will just give it, say, half star or half tick. Half tick, not complete tick. Deduction. Can you spot at least one early inference after the first read? Yes. A and C took R1 and R3 before 12:15. That's for sure. D, difficulty, right? So questions have options. Options means data point. I think that it's pretty okay. Once again, I will say this is half tick for me. So I have three ticks. I should look at attempting it in round 1 itself in the CAT exam. Now let us solve the question. So these data points are given. Let me draw the table. So you know how to draw the table. This is A, this is B, this is C. Ride 1. Okay, let me erase it once. Let me draw it here. Ride 1, ride 2, ride 3, ride 4, A, B, and C. Chitra never waited in queue and completed her visit by 11 a.m. after spending 50 to pay for the tickets. We already know that Chitra has taken 20 rupees and 30 rupees wala, right? So this two things I should cross in front of Chitra. Anjali took ride 1 at 11 a.m. after waiting for 30 minutes for Chitra to complete it. So ride 1, Chitra has completed at 11 a.m. That means she must have started from 10 and completed it at 11. And ride 3, Chitra must have then taken from 9 to 10. So Chitra has taken two rides from the two statements. It was the only ride where Anjali waited. This was the only ride Anjali waited. So that means until and unless mentioned that Anjali has taken a break, Anjali must have continued with the rides. Okay. Okay. Bipasha began her first of three rides at 11:30 a.m. All three visitors incurred the same amount of ticket expense by 12:15. So we know that Bipasha is given that she started off with her first ride at 11:30 a.m. So Bipasha must have definitely done right too, because she also has to spend 50 rupees, right? So these are the prices: 20, 50, 30, and 40. These are the prices, right? So Bipasha has to spend 50 rupees before 12:15 because Chitra has spent that. So she has to take this ride only, right? So she takes it at 11:30 and finish it at 12:30. So 11:30 to 12:30 Vipasha. Let us fill the table for Anjali also. What is mentioned about Anjali? Anjali took ride 1 at 11 a.m. So Anjali took ride 1 at 11 a.m. means Anjali would have, yeah, here. So 11 to 12. And she waited for 30 minutes. That's also mentioned for Chitra to complete it. That means she must have taken this ride from 9:30, 12:30. Okay. All three visitors incurred that. So this is done. This is the table I have filled up so far. Then there is a last point. The last ride taken by Anjali and Bipasha was the same. So Anjali and Bipasha have taken same last ride. Remember, Bipasha has taken three rides. Bipasha has taken three rides. Okay. And Bipasha cannot take ride number three now because she finishes her ride two at 12:30. She cannot take ride three because ride three closes at 1 p.m. तो वो ले ही नहीं सकती. तो बिपाशा के तीन तो ये पक्के हो गए कि शी हैज टेकन दीज थ्री राइट्स, राइट? सो ये डेटा तो मिल गया यहाँ से. Where Bipasha waited for, हाँ, the last ride taken by Anjali and Bipasha were the same rides. अच्छा, लास्ट राइड अगर अंजलि और बिपाशा की सेम है तो डेफिनेटली वो R4 ही हो सकती, बिकॉज अंजलि हैज ऑलरेडी टेकन वन राइड फ्रॉम 11 to 12, so she will continue with some other ride. So last ride taken by Anjali is R4. Okay. Before standing in the queue for that ride, Bipasha took a 1 hour coffee break after completing her previous ride. अभी ना हम क्या करते हैं, let us go and look at the questions. What is question number one saying? What was the total amount spent on tickets by Bipasha? How much amount Bipasha has spent? I know that Bipasha has taken three rides, and the three rides taken by Bipasha are R1, R2, and R4. So what is the cost? 20 plus 50 uh, plus 20 plus 50 plus 40. So that is 110 rupees. Without looking at the fourth point, which was the longest point, I can say that Bipasha has spent 110 rupees. Just look at it. Just from this table, we can say, because Bipasha has taken three rides and she cannot break R3 automatically. From the 3 points itself, you can say without looking, without much ado, which were all the three rides that Anjali completed by 2 p.m. So certainly Anjali has completed ride 1 and ride 3 by 2 p.m. These two options don't have that. Ride 1 and ride 3 Anjali has completed by 12:15. In fact, we have seen that. By 2 p.m. what she would have done. It's not given anywhere that Anjali has taken break, right? And I also know that Anjali's last ride is R4. Why his last ride is R4? Because it is mentioned that Anjali and Bipasha ka last ride was same. So Anjali ko by 12:15 she has taken R1 and R3 and only two rides were left, R2 and R4. She can't take R2 as the last ride because वो तो बिपाशा पहले ही ले चुकी है. उसकी last ride and बिपाशा की should be same. So I know that उसको R4 last ride लेना ही था. ठीक है, तो कौन सा ऑप्शन होगा उसमें? R4 अगर लास्ट राइड था तो व्हाट वुड हैव अंजलि डन फ्रॉम 12:30? वो उसके बाद तो कुछ है नहीं, सॉरी 12 p.m. के बाद 11 to 12 अंजलि finished R1. What would have she done? And she can't wait, so she must have taken this ride 12 to 1. So this is her ride from 12 to 1, and then 1 to 2, ride number 4. This is what Anjali's schedule would have looked like, right? So before 2 p.m., this is what she has done. Sorry, right? Which ride was taken by all three visitors? Which ride was taken by all three visitors? We know that R1 is the ride that is taken by all three visitors. So R3 तो हो नहीं सकता, तो ये भी क्वेश्चन बन गया. लास्ट वाले पॉइंट में तो अभी हमने ज्यादा कुछ किया ही नहीं है, तो दिस इज डन. हाउ मेनी राइड्स डिड अंजलि एंड चित्रा टेक इन टोटल? 6. चित्रा हैज टेकन 2, अंजलि हैज टेकन ऑल 4. 6. What was the total amount spent on tickets by Anjali? So Anjali has done all the 4 rides. So that means 20 plus 50 plus 30 plus 40. So this is 50, 140, right? 50 plus 20, yeah, 140 is the amount taken, spent by Anjali. Now, if you look at the question, I have not made use of point number 4 at all. In fact, only one information I have used, that Anjali and Bipasha ka last ride was same. But I have not filled up the time. The more confusing part here was the second part of the statement 4, that was not required. Why? Why it was not required? Because my focus went in the question number 2, which says that which were all the rides that Anjali completed by 2 p.m. In collaboration with the given information, I was able to infer that it has to be ride 1, ride 2, ride 3, and I filled up the table, right? I filled up the table that way. Okay, and just by using the information of this question, that it has to be right 1, right 2, and right 3, that she would finish by 2 p.m. because she has not waited anywhere, I am able to solve all 5 questions, right? So guys, this is it for this particular session, this particular video. But what I want you to remember is that it may look complex, but once you also see the questions do provide the additional data points to us, right? So that is it for this video. And if you have liked it, then please do not forget to comment, and in the comment box also share with me if you want me to cover any specific type of questions. That will help me more. Bye.